wonderful friends out there. How you all doing? I hope each and every one of us are having a great day. Excuse me. As for me, my day is going just well. It's a bit sunny right here in the Gulf region of the Kingdom of Bahrain. So how you all doing today? Trust each and every one of us are having a great time. And of course, the day is going just the way you want it. You're welcome on board to another edition of Connecting Positive Minds. By formal introduction, I'm the anchor and facilitator of this wonderful uh, session or live stream called Connecting Positive Minds. And of course, for some of us who might just be wondering or joining me for the very first time, Connecting Positive Minds is just as the name implies. It's all about bringing people on board, not just bringing people on board, but positive minded people, people with positive ideologies, people who are willing to share their own positive quota when it comes to creating solutions relating to mental health issues, and as well as seeking the requisite help and providing help to people out there uh, who are currently victimized by mental health and depression. So if you're joining me for the very first time, what Connecting Positive Mind does, or it's aimed at achieving basically, is just to create an awareness campaign on the dangers of mental health and depression, and as well as sensitize, educate, orient, and give people that sense of thought that mental health and depression, it's real, it's in full-fledged. As a matter of fact, it has taken center stage when it comes to cutting the lives of lots of persons out there, especially the young and vibrant individual, the girl child who is currently vulnerable and of course exposed to all of these medical predicament. So if you're joining me for the very first time, basically that is just the vision or the idea behind Connecting Positive Minds. So as I said, my name is Lucky. I am the anchor of this live stream, and of course I really want to indulge in each and every one of us out there who might just be watching me for the very first time to stay in there as we unravel what we have today in stock for each and every one of us. By formal introduction, normally before I delve into my topic of discussion on a regular basis, even though what I do normally it's basically centered on mental health and depression cases, mental health and depression matters, and as well as bring people real time, to discuss, those real time experiences, and of course their life challenging experiences of those particular conditions, those times that actually poses a threat to them. Because whether we like it or not, I'm very sure a lot of us out there have gone through series of difficult times, hurdles, challenges beyond control that actually got us stuck to a point of giving up. So basically, I'm very sure a lot of us out there, in one way or the other, regardless of how well you think your job is disconvenient, regardless of what you feel, you're coming from a very affluential family, regardless of all of these factors, you living the best life, and of course exploring cities, exploring your potentials, and as well as living a life of glamour. So all these things put together, basically, regardless of them, each and every one of us out there may have gone through this experience or really experience this difficult times, those circumstances beyond our control that actually got us stuck in the point of growing up, which of course exposes our sense of vulnerability, thereby giving up in ourselves, giving up in our in with people around us, giving up in virtually everything which actually surrounds us at that particular time. So basically, those are things which are Connecting Positive Minds as this live stream. It's named. It's really what it's aimed at, achieving. So if you're just joining me or watching me for the very first time, these are basically the vision behind Connecting Positive Minds. So how do we intend to achieve that? So one of the major ways I intend to achieve the vision behind Connecting Positive Minds is firstly, bringing people on board, people who are willing to share their real-time experience and stories. Because they say this generic saying of experience being the best teacher. Now, the reason why I am teaching about talking about mental health and depression, it's very simple. It's because I've gone through a series of mental depression cases. For example, way back 15 years ago, I was exposed. I was living a life of liberality, freedom. I had freedom in and out. So I was exposed to those to having a bad company that actually led me, taking all manners of illicit substances like marijuana, which of course that got me, took me off the hook, took me off balance, and I was passively admitted as a result of mental, disorder, partial mental disorder. This condition actually exposes me to that particular, to go into rehab for quite some time before I finally got myself in order. So even after that experience, and of course during the course of rehab, I also went into depression the second time. When I lost my both parents, especially my mom, the trauma I got as a result of losing persons like that, actually got me off the hook the second time. So I have really experienced this first time. And of course, there comes a time, during the after time passed, there was a time which, of course, I was also exposed. I got involved in a ghastly accident which kept me alive. So after all of those things put together, I actually just what stood tall for me. And of course, I feel it's very important for me to discuss about it, make people understand that mental health and depression is real. It's full-fledged. As a matter of fact, it's in full existence in our predominant contemporary society today. So I speak about mental health and depression cases not because I am a specialist in the field, not because I am an expert in this particular field, but because I have experienced it firsthand. And of course, I feel with the help of my experience, sharing my experience to esteemed viewers out there, and as well as bringing people on board who are willing to share their experience, the world could just be a better place. There just might be light at the end of the tunnel. And of course, I'm very sure a lot of persons out there, one of the reasons why, or one of the fundamental significance, which of course I feel it's very important when you share your story. When I share my story, when you share your story, you're not just sharing your story to yourself or to people around for the cause name, for the all for sharing sake. But then you're sharing your inversely when you share your stories, inversely you're telling some person's stories out there. That person, that woman, that boy, that girl who is currently vulnerable and exposed, even to a point of on the verge of committing suicide, your story might just be, a rethink of a change of thoughts and decision. So basically, that's the more reason why I feel it's very pertinent, for we to share our stories relating to those difficult times that actually got exposed to mental health imbalance and depression. So that's another on its side. It's another reason why I am doing what I'm currently doing. So for some of my extended viewers right now, basically that's just in a very concise manner. That is what Connecting Positive Minds is all about. But then I think I just got eligible for coming up live over time. I've not been coming live because it's a new channel. It's a new channel. I just got the eligibility to start coming live. So I think this is even my first video, to speak a bit extensive when it comes to introducing who I am and as well as my vision relating to my page. So for some of you are just joining me or watching me for the very first time, basically that's just the goal. And of course, I will admonish or plead on each and every one of us out there who is currently watching me to do well to subscribe to my channel, because one thing I believe is this campaign quest cannot be achieved it's not an individual campaign. I cannot achieve it within a twinkle of an eye, and of course I cannot achieve it on my own. But with the help of each and every one of us out there, synergizing our voices together, putting hand on deck, all in deck, because mental health and depression not just concerns me. It's a global plight. It concerns you and I. If it has not affected you in one way or the other, it has affected somebody else out there. So it concerns you and I. So I will really admonish each and every one of us to please kindly subscribe to my video. kindly subscribe to my page, and as well as let's build this fan base. Let's build this channel of sensitization. Let's build this fan base of educating and enlightening people out there who may not or may not have get to know what mental health and depression is all about, and of course how well to prevent it. Because it's one thing for you to know something, and it's another thing for you to prevent it. And you will agree with me that you cannot prevent or you cannot provide solutions without discovering what the problem is all about. So basically that's what Connecting Positive Minds is all about. It's all about discovery. It's all about profiling, discovering problems, discovering hurdles and challenges, those threats, life threatening exposure to humanity, and as well as what discover and providing solutions from that. So that is what Connecting Positive Minds is all about. So I will really admonish you, do well to expand this horizon of information. And of course, let's expand this fan base towards ensuring that lots and more engagement is reached, more audience is reached, and as well as people out there who may have need or who will need this, just get the requisite information and help which they are currently seeking on. So basically that's just what Connecting Positive Minds is all about. This is my goal. This is what I intend to achieve, and I hope and believe that with the help of each and every one of us out there, the world could just be a better place. That man, that woman who is currently on the verge of committing suicide or all manners of atrocities may as well just get or have a change of thoughts just because of your story. So join me as you make a difference by turning things around and changing the negative narratives which mental health and depression matters have actually painted on the global stage. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your support. And I hope, each and every one of us who is currently watching this video today may just go by liking and subscribing to my page for us to change, make this world a better place towards, exploring greater potentials of young and vibrant individuals out there. Thank you so much and have a blessed day. I remain my humble self, Lucky David, your anchor and facilitator. I look forward to having each and every one of us on board for a wonderful reopening and of course edition of mental health and depression, Connecting Positive Minds, I beg your pardon, where we speak about mental health and depression. So once again, thank you so much. I do have a great time. Bye for now. How do I even end this live? Because